Hello and welcome to episode 10, in the final episode of series 2 of Stories from the Pack from Wolves Fancast. Joining me on this episode is someone that I've known for, well, we'll catch up in a minute just to confirm, but well over 20 years. And many of the memories that I share with this next guest are all football related mostly. We've had many ups and downs, as many good mates have over the years supporting our football club, but I thought it was great to get him on to tell his story, and that is David Eastelow. How you doing?
Mate, how are you?
We're all right.
We're
We're doing this because I think it's a great opportunity for you to share your story, but we're doing it, to be honest, because we're catching up. So it'll just be an opportunity for us, because obviously in these times that we're in, to have a good chat and
say,
so.
It was weird talking over a computer about Wolves on a Wednesday night. It was a bit weird, really. Usually in a pub, usually they don't took decaf coffee and a computer.
I know, and it's mad, and it's like, how do we catch up? And this is the thing, and we hear this phrase all the time, don't we, about the new normal? But this is kind of it. It's still weird because we've known for most of our lives that this isn't like. To us, it's alien to do this when we catch up. It's like you say, it's over a beer and a chat, and but yeah, this is an opportunity for us to catch up and for us to share our stories, because some of the stories we'll be covering will apply to both of us, I'm sure. But just to kind of put everybody in the picture who don't know you, we'll have many people listening, family and friends, and it's great to have your support as well as everybody listening. But for those that aren't familiar with yourself, just to give you you're the opportunity to share your story. So when did your Wolves story begin, if you want to share with everyone?
Well, my football story, I'd say started, I can remember a bit of Italian 90, believe it or not. All my family, my dad, uncles, cousins worked there as stewards at Molineux. Uncles Wolves fans, my dad's Wolves fans for the 60s, 70s, the 80s, saw all that. So basically it's ingrained to me, like, you're Wolves and that's it. There's now sort of Liverpool, Man U, West Brom, but in our family, as you know, it's all Wolves. And my first football memory, I'd say, was probably Italian 90 with Lineker scoring the goals against Cameroon, 2 penalties. Yeah. I can remember that a little bit. But I think I've got every shirt from 1990 to now of Wolves. My first shirt is the, obviously the old goal. I've got Buckter on the side of it.
Yeah,
I've got the Goodyear strip, and I've got every one: the tyre track one, the nutmeg one, the Chaucer ones. I've got them. I said my first Wolves memory. I remember I was about 91 in the old Molineux, sitting in the red seats. Yeah, we played Chelsea in a pre-season friendly. Drew 2 each. Bully got the 2, as he usually did.
Standard.
I think about that. I remember sitting in the red seats, and my dad took me. He took 2 of my schoolmates from junior school at the time, and I think we just basically ran him ragged. It was like just misbehaved, in and out the seat. So if Dad's listening, I'm sorry, Dad. But yeah, I remember sitting there thinking, like, the North Bank was fairly full to my left. The stand opposite was derelict, nothing there at all. And the South Bank was fairly full. But there's an alphabet in the corner. I kept saying, Dad, why is there an alphabet in the corner? Just is. Oh, there's an alphabet in the corner. Like, what's all this about? I remember Boy scored. I think he scored 2 headers, I think if I remember right. I don't know what league Chelsea were in. I couldn't remember at the time. My first proper league game, was we played Sandwell Town at home. I think it was like 93, 94. We actually beat them for a change. We beat them 2-0. David Kelly and Andy Thompson got a penalty.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, and it's really because we used to drive up and park at West Park and then walk up Newhampton Road into the family end. And I remember seeing all this, like, just gold and black everywhere, and it was the new Molineux, and big blokes in on my little 92. I was a 10-year-old kid, wearing my Wolves shirt and everything. And I was talking to my dad about this a while ago, actually, before we did this. And he says, I remember going to that game. He gives you money to the bloke on the turnstile, or your ticket, sorry, to the bloke on the turnstile. And I walked in, the noise that loud, I froze. I was like, Dad, I can't do this. It's too late, Dad, now. He's like, come on, it's all right, mate. I got you. Like, trying to coax me to go in. It's been like 10, 15 minutes before kick-off. I mean, I never heard of the Black Country Derby or West Brom or anything like that. I didn't know how big a game it was. When we get into our seats, we were towards the South Bank end in the family enclosure. And never forget, there's a woman, them like Deirdre Barlow type glasses, the massive glasses that people yes. Early 90s. And there's a chap, there's me and my dad, the dad was to my left, and then there's this chap next to my dad, and there's this lady with these glasses on in front of us, in front of us. I remember Andy Thompson scored this penalty, and he just went, yeah, jumped up, yeah, we scored. He knocked this woman's glasses off.
Yeah.
And I remember being really, really apologetic, like, sorry. She went, I don't care, we're beating the Albion, I don't care, we're winning 1-0, I don't care. And that was my first real memory of going to Wolves, really. And it just started from there, really. I was Wolves obsessed, and still are, really, to a degree. But when I was a kid, it was just Wolves mad. It's like birthday and Christmas present. It was, what should we get Dave for Christmas and birthday? Oh, go up the club shop. Games up from the club shop. It's like now. Yeah. You know.
It's mad though. I mean, what a debut, really. I know you went to, as you say, Chelsea as a friendly, and then also I want to touch on Italia 90. I know this is about Wolves, but there'll be football fans listening, because I think it was the same for me. I remember my sister was in hospital at the time, and the TV was on. It was that Cameroon game. And that, I think, for me as well, that Italia 90, and we know, I guess, because we were a little bit early to it, the significance of that with Bully and Gazza, and I know Gazza's always been a big favourite of yours, probably from that point on. But
yeah, love Gazza.
That was a hell of a World Cup, and it was a great time to kind of be a fan, because the England team were sort of so close, and then as a Wolves fan, then for yourself, it was a case of you were just really at the start of the rebuild. The red seats, for people who aren't aware, we've got people who've come on board with Wolves over the years, was basically the Steve Bull stand, wasn't it, Jed, as it was, and the family.
Oh, yes, it was.
And I mean, it's not changed really, other than the colour of the seats, has it?
No, you still can't get in. It's still like sardines in there. You still can't get a drink in there.
You're a bit close to the pitch.
I remember like Italia 90 mentioning that, like the Express and Star final, you probably have the same. Every night was the Express and Star final. And like I knew about Wolves, but it was like pictures of Bully in his England kit, like they're all good luck messages and posters of Bully, good luck Bully, and Jimmy Greaves let the ball loose and all that lot. And that's really was like, that's what I remember Italia 90. I'd probably say Italia 90 and Euro 96, my two favourite tournaments as an England Wolves fan. That's probably my sort of memories of football and Molineux at the start, I'd say.
And then a derby is your first game, because a lot of for a lot of people are kind of could be middle of the road, or actually your parents might go, we ain't going to take them to the Albion game. First game, we're gonna. You got the full effect, and we're a lucky charm. And
I mean, well, my dad, he worked where I was, retired years now. And he used to make a phone call every dinner time. My mum was a part-time dinner lady at my junior school. And he always make a phone call every dinner time. It was 3 questions. 1, what's the stocks and share prices? Because you have like bits and pieces and everything. 2, what's any Wolves news, any transfer news? And 3, are you busy? And if she say, no, I'm not busy now, can you go up the Molineux? There's any tickets for me and Dave for the game the weekend? And off she go on the 5-hour-3 for 4 days to the Molineux. This is every week. And so we started having like that first game, Albion game, was like first time I had like a season ticket, and then it just snowballed from there till now, really.
And it's mad, isn't it, really? Because it does seem so long ago, but that was the introduction, really. And I guess as a fan, and obviously, you know, me and Dave is the same age. It was very similar, whereby we'd missed out on the Sherpa van. We kind of we were just as the ground, surely, we weren't there. We can't claim to be, but it was like for that era of fans, people who were in the sort of mid-30s to 40s, it was the rebuild, wasn't it? And I think
it was.
Right. I think, did we have a season ticket in the first year of the first time the Stan Cullis got rebuilt, potentially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was about 97. We're right. Well, 90. 98, 99. I remember being there when Bully got his last goal against Bury.
Yeah.
And I remember him scoring a hat-trick against Barnet in the League Cup. We went, I think, about 98. I think the last one about 98, and he finished in the 99, I believe.
And I guess through that sort of era, I guess, how would you sum that up? But playoffs was kind of the games. Are there any other games that you kind of come to like, be good or bad, that you remember in that sort of era?
Well, then, so the good game I really remember, if you remember it as well, the Sheffield Wednesday penalty shootout. I remember, I've got quite a good memory. It was February the 25th, I think it was, 1995. It was a Wednesday night game, and we drew the first game 0-0 on a Monday night. And Chris, me, Mum and Dad's out, I look at an old-fashioned hi-fi system in the corner. And Dad had his big earphones on, and he had the match on at Hillsborough. And you're like, what's going on? And you go, oh, penalty. We're like, oh, bloody hell. And Chris Bart-Williams saved it. Like, I think it was last minute or something. Paul Jones in goal. Saved it before to this replay. I'll never forget it. It happened like last night. I remember dropping my mum off a man in Granladin Low Hill because they'd been on her own. Went there, and when we drove to the game, parked at West Park as normal, walking up the Northampton Road. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing some jeans. I was wearing the goalkeeper top, the blue and green one with the two black sleeves on the two black stripes on the sleeves. Exactly what Paul Jones was wearing that night with the crest in the middle. This big Adidas coat I had on, my Wolves hat and my Wolves scarf, and walked up to the corners. I've got a programme. And I forget my dad saying to me, he says, Dave, he says, this is one of them games you'll never forget. When years to come, you're going to say to me, oh, we were there that night, Dad. And it's true. It's a true story. My first time in the South Bank. Remember the game was even like last night, as I say. David Kelly scored. Mark Bright scored for Sheffield Wednesday. It was a nip and tuck game, I think. 1-1, and it got to these penalties. I've never seen penalty live before. And Andy Thompson taking one, Tomo. We were like,
you were behind the goal then, weren't you then?
Yeah, first time behind the goal, yeah. Remember the shootout started, and we were like, Tomo was first up. He'll scored, Andy Thompson missed. Like, oh no, he's going to miss this. And I can't remember who scored for them. Robbie Dennison, I think, missed as well for us. So all of a sudden, we were 3-0 down. And we were like, bloody hell, we're out there. So one more, they've won it. And I still remember it now, the best penalty. If I was to teach anybody to take a penalty properly, I'd say go on YouTube this particular game, and watch Kevin Pressman, their goalkeeper. If you remember it. The best penalty I've ever seen.
He took the net.
Yeah, if it had been a net, he took someone clean out. No problem. He laces down, thrash it, hard as you can. And as I say, it's a good job of the net there, so they didn't knock someone clean out. I remember a centre-half called Andy Priest, long blonde hair chap.
Yes.
Took the top of the bar into the South Bank. And I think David Kelly scored a penalty. Bully never took penalties. I don't know why, he never took many penalties, Bully.
I think it was...
Played that night. He never played. He never took one for some reason.
No. I think Tomo was so good, wasn't he? But it was... We talk about Italian 90, and this is a good parallel, isn't it, now, that you're going to? So you take it up. It was obviously Chris.
And, yeah, it was. Yeah, the waddler. I remember Chris Bart-Williams Gordon Cowan scored, 3-2. Then Chris Bart-Williams again stepped up. He needed to score. And they were through 4-2, 4-1, wherever it was. Paul Jones saved again. We're going balmy in the South Bank. Wow, we're in this. And John DeWolf scored 3-3. And as you say, the goals for Italian 90, Chris Waddle stepped up, didn't want to take it. Could tell by the look. I've seen it back a few times since I was there. Head down, didn't want to take it. John DeWolf said something to put him off. What he said, I don't know. Probably miss you, beep, whatever it was. And he took this penalty like he couldn't be asked, if I'm honest. Just left foot, tapped it, Jones saved it again. And then Don Goodman took it, the winner, and right on the roof of the net. It was absolutely bedlaming Molyneux. I remember my dad putting on my seat, had my scarf above my head. Hey, Sarah, we're going to Wembley and all this. Magical night. And he's right. I remember it happened last night, one of them games. Another night, I went to a loud point, by all Wolves fans will remember it from our era and above the Bolton playoffs.
Yeah.
That was my first real upset and down moment of Wolves watching Wolves. But I really got upset watching them, really. Because we're spending the money in the 90s with the Hayward money and getting these players like Jeff Thomas and Kevin Key, Mark Rankin, Bully, Tom Howe, Monday Moon, all them lot. And I didn't go to the game on the Sunday, the first leg, but I watching it at home with Mum and Dad. And they got this Peter Shilton who was about 90 at the time. And my dad kept saying, what do you think, Dad? What do you think? So, 26 years ago this year. I was like, what do you think, Dad? What do you think? Like, we'll beat them. He's an old man in goal. He won't stop there. We'll get Bully, get hat-trick and all this. And remember, he had the game of his life.
Yeah.
I was like, how's this happening? How is this happening? And then Bully got one before half-time. I thought, floodgates will happen now. So I think if any respectable Bolton fan really they're honest with themselves, they'd say if Wolves won that game 5-6-1, they couldn't have any complaints, I don't think.
No.
And then Jason McAteer spooned it, shinned it, this really wonder goal from 35 yards, wherever it was. I think, bloody hell. Then Mark Bean has scored. I think 2-1. Okay, the draw does it. We need a draw away. Burnden Park. We get 1-1, 2-2, whatever it is, we'll get through. Wembley we come. And then McGinley, the Scottish lad, punched, we all know what happened. He punched David Kelly, got booked, got the winner in front of our end. I wasn't there that night. I think I went to Molyneux to watch it on the big screen, in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I really got upset, like, oh, bloody hell. I remember seeing Bully in the middle of the pitch, head down, hands on his knees. I'm thinking about it now, because Bully retired 4 years later in 99, I think he knew in his mind that was probably his last chance or last chance of actually going to do it with us. Because he had one more, the playoffs against Palace, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right.
That was his big chance. I thought, nah, he ain't going to do it now. Such a shame. But
it was one of those moments where I think all the fans just kind of were kneeling with him, weren't they?
Yes.
It was kind of that moment where we're like, we feel your pain. We've seen what he'd gone through. And that season, as you say, you mentioned players like Jeff Thomas, the Wolf, although he was injured, wasn't he? Which I think people put down to that we may have made it comfortable if he wasn't, because he was such an influence.
World class centre half, wasn't it?
Oh, he was brilliant. Talk about players, Jed. Talk me through some of your favourite players, either now or during that time.
Well, third one with heroes, Bully. I'm Bully mad. They never said the saying, you never get to meet your heroes and all this. But I've met him 2 or 3 times. He's like one of us. He's one of us. I know he's come from them lot down the road. But I think if you cut him in half, he's gold and black, You drag him off the South Bank, put a number 9 strip on him, and that's Bully for us. My favourite players growing up was obviously Bully. I love Mickey Stowell in goal.
Oh, great goalkeeper.
We got Mickey Stowell in our goal and all that lot. Love Robbie Keane. I wish we could have signed him. I always say when he left, he'll come back to us. He never did. Every transfer window, we say, even there, we say, Robbie Keane's coming. He's going to be 45. And I loved it. I love Paul Ince, Les Scott, Cameron, Ray, all that side took us up for the first time. To the side now, Raul, Neves, Adama, love Jota, but now he's not with us anymore. I love Cowden, he's centre half. They're all my sort of players growing up. I miss the Keith. I remember Paul Cook going back a little bit, Cookie's left foot.
Yeah.
I remember Cookie. I remember like Keith Downing so much in that lot, and remember Peter Shirtley, Super Guy the Soldier.
Yeah.
All that lot. So yeah, good memories, and up to now, them superstars now, aren't they? At the moment,
it's mad, isn't it? Though, because okay, we're going through bad form, but if it's time we're recording, we're going through bad form, and hopefully things will pick up. But when you look at the growth, you look at the 7 finishes, you look at Europe. It's a different world. But do you? Because I have this conversation with a few people. Do you kind of look at a certain time in your Wall supporting life where you thought that was my team? That was kind of like not my era, but do you know what I mean? Because I know for yourself, and it's been similar to me. You're a family man, and your weekends, are taken up with different responsibilities now. But was there a point where you thought, well, this is sort of my team? Was it the Bolton time, and did it mean more at that time than it does now, or is it different?
I think if it happened now, I'll be like still gutted, but I think because we've had like a roller coaster. It's like, obviously, supporting Wolves, as you know, is a roller coaster. You're up, you're down. Like we beat Chelsea. Like this year, we beat Chelsea. We beat Arsenal. We're gonna play. We're gonna lose to the shit. Yeah. It's like you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. So if it happened now, it'd be like, oh well, we're used to it. But then it was like my first low.
Yes.
So my team is either the team with Bully, David Kelly, Mickey Starr, Andy Thompson, Dennison. My first team, my Wolves team was the playoff final team because they were the first ones to take us up and get us to where we've always wanted to be, like a bit like ourselves. I was playing Wolves 30 years, whatever it is. We always wanted to get to that Premier League. We missed out, obviously, the Bolton. We said the Palace, we missed out. We missed out to them as well the year before, the heartbreak the year before. We missed out a couple of penalties to Colin Lee, to Dave Jones. We missed out. Sorry, Mick McCarthy, which won the league. My team is that team because they took us up. Okay, they didn't get us up. But I think the way they bounced back from this point of the year before, we all know what happened. The 12-point lead with 10 games to go. We all know what happened. From the way they bounced back, I did a couple of editions with Ernst and Irwin and what's that midfielder name? Ingy Marson.
Yeah.
Midfielder. We signed him as well. He was like under the radar because we got Ernst and Irwin in. I think that they bounced back was brilliant. And that day at Cardiff, people say over the years, what's your favourite game? Name me 5 favourite games. And I don't name that game because I think that should be on its own little, what's the word, stratosphere, planet, whatever they call it, on its own. Because that day was the best footballing day of my life. I've never had one since. And the whole day, the game, we outplayed them. So, and then topped it off, Sir Jack's thumbs up. I think Matt Morris having the penalty. The 2000 versus 2000 football game before the game by Cardiff Station. This football going everywhere. O'Neill's at 10:30 in the morning on the beer, and it's just a magical day. And that was my team. I'd say my team. I'd say, yeah.
And I think I remember. I'm sure I spoke to you. You know, that season before when we, dropped the lead, and I remember being outside Hillsborough, and it was sort of Sheffield Wednesday connections with the Albion, one Gary Meggs, and that was low. And I remember just thinking, this is, and I think we all felt that. And then so I think that's why Cardiff was massive because of the year before, wasn't it? That we'd had that low, and as you say, I'm fortunate enough to share some of that time with you at Cardiff, and it was like you say, everyone says Cardiff, but it doesn't matter because it was so significant. And I think for people who probably weren't aware, it was the fact that we'd had those playoff heartaches, the Bolton, the Crystal Palace, and then we'd had the issue with the Albion. It just kind of just felt like
we were never a really good playoff team, was we? I mean, that was our third time lucky. But if you think like for our era, we had was it Aldershot we lost out to in the 80s?
Yeah.
We've lost out to the Albion in the playoffs again under McCarthy.
Yeah.
So we only won like one playoff, really.
I ain't. They're horrible, aren't they, really?
No. I mean, we always come up against the best side. Like, we went to Leicester away, didn't we? We won 4-1 that last day of the season. We got the Albion, thinking, great, got the Albion in the playoffs. And we're thinking, oh, shit. Kevin Phillips, Kamara and all that. And we got a young team. Like, what? That's my team, the playoff final team, I'd say.
And then I know for me and you, a big part of our Wolves supporting life has been away from Molineux as well. Some great away days. Is there any sort of away days that stand out, or any? I don't know if we can read stories. I'll put my hand close to the edit button here.
Is it censored? Well, my first away game, believe it or not, my first home game was Albion at home. My first away game was Albion away.
Okay.
As luck would have it, it was September '96. We haven't won there since. 25 years ago this year, we won't sit unless we beat them in May, which I can't believe myself. When my dad got tickets in the Smethwick end, I remember going before the game, part at Molineux. I mean, we saw the players come through by the Billy Wright stand to go into Molineux. We're seeing Bully, come on Bully, come on the Wolves and all this, and Jamie Smith, remember him, the right back?
Yeah, I do.
He was there. Then we're seeing Steve Froggatt. He big fist pumps, come on, we'll do these today and all this. And Going down to the Hawthorns, sorry, the Hawthorns, what was I saying? Hawthorns, because any Albion fans listening, got the couch. And I think if you remember being on the couch the Albion before, they parked in this road, and there's like an alleyway to the back of the Smedic end.
Yes.
I remember this little girl, bless her, come out with my Albion scarf above her head. And all fans up there, all right, they're like, who are you? Nothing rude to her. They're like, who are you? And like this girl. And walked to the back of the Smedic end. It's lovely, like September day. Sunday, September 96 on a Sunday on Sky. Mark McGee was manager. Alan Buckley was their manager. And we get in the Smedic end again. I remember wearing the Bully testimonial shirt with the pinstripes on it.
Yes.
And yeah, I remember wearing that. And I remember the Wolves fan, the big shirt came out like across the stand, the Wolf head on it.
Years, yeah.
And then the Brummie Road end, it's like an handkerchief, like this little blue and white thing. And the Wolves fans took the piss. Is that your handkerchief and all this? And this went on for minutes and minutes. And I remember, next thing you know, kicked off, 3 minutes gone, Roberts at goal. Wow, we've got. I knew more about the Derby game then.
Yeah.
Like what it meant to the fans, what it meant to us. So I was a bit like, 2 or 3 years old. I was what, 9, 25, 6, about 13, 12, 13. So I knew all about the Black Country Derby, the rivalry with the Albion. And then Bully scored and he ran in front of the Brummie Road end and they were all going mad. And Roberts got the second one after half an hour, whatever it was, 3-0 up. It's like, dreamland, I can't believe it. My first away game.
Yeah.
We were absolutely battering them. And they got 104 half time. I think it was Ian Hamilton, remember him? Ian Hamilton,
I do.
long-haired midfielder. Decent, past Mickey still.
Yeah.
So you 3-1 up, you're thinking, well, one more. Like it was last Saturday, actually. One more, kill this off. And he did. Frog it down the left-hand side. Actually, before that, I remember Wolves fans that they are taking the bit at the Albion. Albion fans, I think it was the Alphas line and up standing to the right-hand side, I don't know what he is. They were getting aggressive, the place was throwing them, lobbing them out, and they were going, cheerio, and all that to them. And they were getting all irate and all this. It was so funny. They're biting. And I said the fourth goal, his hat-trick. He hadn't scored before we scored Oxford in the Tuesday night games. He scored his first goal.
He didn't have a good start, did he?
No. And I think like $1 million or 1.5, didn't he?
I think when we signed him, I think there was kind of a little bit of a shrug the shoulders, wasn't there? Really, with Robert. Yeah,
well, we had Don Goodman. So we had Don Goodman, then we had I can't remember who else we had at the time. But he's like sign you in Roberts, but he's a legend, absolute legend. I remember Stevie Froggatt, down the left hand side, whipped it in, volleyed it, and he was right in front of me as well because even Bully jumped on his shoulders. We were like, yes, and all this. And then typical Wolves, 4-1 up, you think we'll cruise this. They got one back, Super Bob Taylor got one back. And it could have been 4-all, they're 2 disallowed. They're absolutely all over us. And you're thinking, why are we panicking? Just see it out. And we got through it, got 4-2. And I think if you remember, you get the couch, you go up this road, left, but then you get right past the Brummie Road to go on the M5, and then all the Albion fans were banging the window, 4-2, and all this lot. And just before the game ended, they had a throwing go out to our right, and Bully was by. As I saw, I love Bully, and he's on the touchline, and they're all pelting with abuse, usual bullshit. And we were all thinking, Steve Ball the tattoo and all this. He just went 4-2. But his answer was like, just say, look at this, 4-2. And they were going mad, more at him. He just wound them up. But it was just a great day. I mean, there's been more away games, as you said. I started going with yourself, went to Sunderland, all that Sunderland the couch, remember that?
I do.
That was a long ass journey I've had in my life. To get there, I think we lost 2-1. Niall Quinn, the last minute, scored, I think, if I remember right. And all that big bloke in front of the spicy chicken, all the way out. We were starving hungry. Sisters.
Yeah, I remember that because what it was with as you say, as everybody listening will probably know, Sunderland is probably the furthest away game you could go to. Okay. So it's a long journey, and it's a long journey if you've lost in the last minute to anyone. Yeah. And then we're on the travel coach and we're sitting down, and to be honest, everybody's got the ump because we've lost the last minute. You just want to get out, and it takes an age to get off the coach part. and then this guy just decides to unfurl his sandwich, and this sandwich stinks, and you're on the couch thinking, what can we do? And I think it was at that moment for me, it was like, that's the last time I'm going to be on a couch.
Yeah, I got many more myself.
If you're on a train, you can move to the next carriage. As we've had times of different things that goes on the train.
We couldn't ever have a beer. We were like 14. We couldn't crack a can open.
No. It was like when we went to West Ham, we looked forward to try and get a beer, and it was very much like, no, I think we were a bit older then, weren't we? But I think that was on police.
Yeah.
But when you're on that coach for so long, and it's, I mean, look, people like the coach, I'm not discrediting it.
No, the raffle.
But I think, if you like a drink and you like to stretch your legs,
no.
And it's one of those things when you're in the coach, you just don't know who you're going to sit next to. And a guy who just decides to have his lunch on there on the way back from Sunderland.
I mean, do you remember going to Rotherham on a couch with the Morton?
Yeah.
And it was like, let's have a beer on the couch. But there's like, we won 1-0, I think. And remember Jamie Dillon?
Yeah.
And he said, now beer in the ground. And because they're doing the minute signs so many years, he held that can up and he got chucked out and didn't see the game.
Yeah.
We were like, what are you doing that for?
This was Rotherham, and basically it said no beer in the game, and he put his arm up as a kind of like a gesture, so, to kind of pay his tribute. But obviously at the end of his arm was a can, and then he got chucked out for the whole game. So we had to spend, I think, 90 minutes around Rotherham until we went back. But
and there ain't much there, I don't think.
No. But I think this is it. I mean, we talked Rotherham. To me, mate, and I think it was the same for you. It was. Yeah, and I've always said this. Yeah, there were big games and there were big clubs, and you named two amazing derby games, but it wasn't always the team, was it? We were facing. It was just the experience of going. And I know for yourself, you started out in the North Bank, and you talked earlier about being in the John Island, as it was, Steve Ball, and then in the South Bank. I think that that was a big time for you. Yourself, you many time sitting in the South Bank or standing as it was.
Yeah. I mean, I've just started in the South Bank. I just come to remember about an away game. Sorry.
No.
It was Bolton away actually. It was year 2000. I think it was. It was like neck and neck. Like a few games to go, we had Bolton away, and again, I went on the choke with my dad again. I think if we lost, we were out the playoffs. Couldn't make it. If we won, we went above them. I think we were in the playoffs with like 3 games to go. It was like in our hands. The draw wasn't too bad. I remember going there, and it was just like we got in the ground, and it was I've got to say we were cheated from start to finish because we got in the ground and they brought McGinley out. I think he must have retired by then. He wound us all up and all this, and the referee, I think it was Kevin Lynch or. I'll have to look it up again. Joel Lynch or Kevin Lynch, something like that. Little fat, bumpy bloke with a ball blow the tash. But he was his last ever game, so he was retiring. And on the Monday, it was on a Wednesday night, on the Monday, Bolton held a retirement party for him.
Oh, geez.
So every decision, he gave Bolton free kicks, 50-50s, throw-ins, all, we were robbed. And Colin Lee was manager, and he sent him off for foul and abusive language, but the video replay, he never said a swear word to him. Sent him off. And we went in half-time, Ludo, Polly, 1-0, just 4 half-time, big Ludo. Edward returned as usual. Then I remember Ida Johnson, he started at Bolton, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he got 2 goals. He was brilliant that night, brilliant. And it was 2-1. I remember we were pushing forward this equaliser, because as I said, we lost, we were out, so we couldn't make the playoffs. I think it was Andy Sinton. Remember Andy Sinton on the left finger? Yeah. Crossed the ball over. Their keeper missed it. And remember Scott Taylor, the midfielder?
For us, yeah.
From Reading, I think he's from Reading.
Yeah.
He come running in, headed it in, hit the back of the net, 2-2, right on the full-time whistle. And we were like, we were going absolutely lunatic. The walls were going mad. We said, we've done it. But the referee blew for full-time. He never counted.
Wow.
So we were like, that just summed it all up. And you say about long journeys home, that was a long journey home. But all the way I'm thinking, God, Christ, we've been robbed. We've just absolutely been robbed.
I think I've got a feeling Colin Lee since spoke about that, and talked about that.
I think he has.
Yeah.
I remember it aside. I remember it
Yeah.
as happened the other week. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. It's like, the away days are great, but when you lose, it ain't half a long journey back.
Oh, I mean the Wembley one, when it that was a long journey home.
Yeah.
The semi-final. We had some great away days. I might say with everybody been great.
It has, and I think it was, I think it's been difficult in recent years, to get a ticket. Because, obviously because of how well we're doing, and that's part of the success, and we understand it. But yeah, there were some good times in the Championship where you could get 12 tickets just like that.
Yeah. Off one season ticket.
Somewhere. Yeah, one season ticket. And I mean, I wanted to touch on it as well because we're recording this on the second anniversary of a friend of ours, Cully, who passed away this week 2 years ago. So we'll mention him because he's worth a mention. But he was just a part of it, and as a part of a group of us who would go away. And it may not have always been the same ones, but we'd just nip in and out. And when people were there, and would catch up. And sometimes we didn't know what someone did for a living or who the wife was, but we were just connected, weren't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how I met everybody. Like Cully, God bless him, Sava, Owen Burt, Nelly, Knocker, Tully, Nettie, everybody, Chunk, Kenny, Boyders, all them lots. I met him really. I was on my own in the South Bank, 16. Probably I was quite quiet. Didn't really say a lot. And Sava was to my left. I don't think he was to my right. His cousin Rob went afterwards, and his mate Chunk was to his left. We got talking. Obviously, I wasn't well working at Marston's now. I was working somewhere else. And he was working at Lucas Aerospace, or Goodrich, as we know it, Lucas Aerospace. And just one day he says, like, do you want to come for a beer? I was like 16, 17. Do you want to come for a beer with us? Yeah, right, yeah. Go on then, yeah. I didn't know the pubs open at 12 o'clock. I don't know that. I think I've had a night out. We had one night out uptown in my life since then. And I've gone from... we're in the old still, and there's all there. This is Dave, because they all call him Young Jedi, Young Apprentice, and all that lot. And it stuck me for, 20 some odd years now, it's stuck. And I've gone from like this shy kid, never said boo till he goes at the game, to this absolute loudmouth hooligan, effing and blinding. I had a few beers, I couldn't see the North Bank clock. I was effing about the referee, I was told to sit down, I was all like this. That's how I met him. Like I said about Cully, I think like our group's Cully Wolfpack in it, and I think we're all together. And when we lost him, I think a lot we lost a part of each other. I think, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense, mate.
Like a funny Cully story with Charlton away.
Yes.
And had a few beers, met his brother Jazz, a lovely bloke, his brother. Total opposite to Cully, total opposite. Cully's like a woo, there we, and like we're on. Jazz is a bit more calm and quiet, and all that. Lovely bloke, there, lovely bloke. And we were standing up, I think under the Saunders era, and standing there, it's all quiet because we were crap. And you just hear his voice just go, "Come on, show some fight, yeah, show some fight." And you're like, Cully's here. Go on, Cole. And then kids at the end of them, two kids, and pulling face at him and whatever. It was just the funniest thing I've ever seen. I've had a video, and it was so funny. It really was.
I mean, they're just like, just random times. But then when you mentioned Charlton, the one for me I remember was we this was, I think, the Sam Vokes game, I'm going to say. You might correct me.
Yeah,
so that sort of era, 3-1. And we went on the Chiltern line, and a lot of people listening will be aware that was a long journey, but a cheap journey down to London, which we often did. And we got off, I'm going to say, somewhere around London Borough Market, and we were looking for a pub, and we found ourselves in the middle of a wine festival.
We did, yes. Walking around red wine and straws. Like, what's going on here?
And, it was just the fact that we were just cliche football fans looking for the nearest Wetherspoons, and then we're going round with our wine list and our little beaker and straw, and which we carried onto the tube.
One next to the other, wasn't it? We went there and we went to the Globe.
The Globe, yeah. but good times, and times where things are up, things were down. But I think it's worth mentioning it because I think for a lot of people, they've got who I speak to on this, who I either know or I haven't met. They've all got their friendship groups. They've all got the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
Next, we're recording this in lockdown, and we spoke at the start of this. This is a bit strange for us to be chatting and catching up like this, but it gives people the opportunity to do so. So I know people are missing it, and I know people are keen to get back when we can. But hopefully, a lot of the stories we've covered on this will ring home to people, and people will relate to it. And just really, to sort of close. Well, I ask everybody who comes on, what does it mean to you to be part of the pack? What does it mean to you, and what has it meant to you to be a Wolves fan?
It's my life, really. Apart from my family and my friends, everybody, it's my life. The saying is, you cut him in half, but he bleeds gold and black. That's me. I'll never, my allegiance will always be Wolves. I mean, I did fall out of Wolves a little bit under the Solback and Saunders era. I did give it up. I just couldn't be bothered anymore. It was just awful times. But mainly, I'd say about the pack, like I said, all our mates were all. They're all my man. I love them all to bits. I miss them all like mad because we don't see each other at the moment because of restrictions. Yourself don't see yourself much because obviously what's going on. It means everything. It's part of my life. To the day I'll pop my clogs, it'll always be Wolves. It's everything really. It's just going to games like away games, obviously we've mentioned. Like a few beers for the game with the lads and. The football sometimes wasn't the best, but we made a great day of it nonetheless. It's just another few beers after. We got let's go up town after. We'll go up to town after. Even though we're absolutely pissed as fart or knackered. Go on, have another beer in the town, come on, and all this. We'll have some beers on the train. And it was just great. And and some of the games like we've been to, like Tottenham away we went to.
Yeah. That was the 1-0 Kevin Doyle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that bloke said, I remember that bloke saying, we were sitting there having a beer, and that bloke said, if you can't beat Wolves, we don't deserve Champions League football. And we beat him 1-0. I'd love to have met him again to say, who are you? There's Blackpool, we'd gone the wrong station. We pegged it across bloody Blackpool in this taxi, me, Aid, Cully, and across to Preston, the train was delayed anyway. Yeah. But things like memories like that, that must mean like being a part of a group. It's not just going on your own to the game and coming home. It's like, we're going the style for the game, you and your dad. Yeah. Catch up with your dad, take the piss out of each other or whatever. Or we can meet the lads in the town, like in the Ogs or Littmantree or wherever. A few beers, have a laugh. And it's only if the game's crap. Or if it's a win, it's a great night out.
Yeah.
So we've won, we've had a great win. It's brilliant. If we've lost, we'll be down for a little bit, but then few beers, we're all livening up again, taking the piss out of each other. You're calling me Welsh because I also live in Telford. It's just that's what it means to being a pack. It's everything.
Yeah, and it's like you say, sometimes it's therapy when things aren't going well, and it's that functional family. I mean, people all know, if they know the two of us, we've had many disagreements about football. We've had many disagreements about Wolves. Usually about just Moxie or Saunders or Selback. But then you iron them out, and that's,
yeah, that's the part of it. It's nothing personal, it's just a debate.
And usually we come home together, but I do remember a time, was it Fulham away that I think you had a bit of shut-eye on the train? Yeah. That was a good story.
Someone left me on the train. But, they too far away, this bloke, eh? I was remember, what game was it? Fulham game, was it when Van Dam scored?
It might have been that. So it might have been that early part of the season. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
I remember, if I'm not getting my games mixed up, we went to that pub with the EDL. There's all smashed glass everywhere and all this.
Yeah, it was.
Was that the game?
Yeah, I mean, we'll make this clear. We're not part of the EDL.
No.
We went to this quiet drink, and then we realised there was some sort of EDL meeting. So it was a very quick one, and then we went. But yeah, I think we'd had a few beers, and for some reason we got separated from the train.
I think I can't remember what happened. I think I went to the toilet. I think you were in the carriage behind me. I should have gone back to you in the carriage. But I just saw these two, so I thought, I'm going to go keep on, bang out. I remember the train stopping. I thought, oh, we're in New Street now. Right, I looked at my phone, 15 missed calls off you. Oh, shit. Where am I? Oh, dear. There's no one on this train. Thinking, where have they all gone? Where's everyone gone? I was like an alien. Where am I like? And I got off the door, and there's no platform. I'm thinking, I'll never sailed up so much quick in all my life. I'm like, whoa, where am I? I said to these, I walked across the train track, and there's like a porter cabin these workmen was. And I says, like an alien, excuse me, man, where am I? He goes, you're in Toysley, lad. Where's Toysley? You're in Birmingham. I thought, okay, I'm in the West Midlands. Way too far away from home. Right, I'm not like in Aberdeen or Manchester or anything like that. And they says, where you come from? I was off that train there. You couldn't have come off that train. I have come off the train. I'm having like an argument. I have come off the train. Honestly, I've come off the train. That train, the last stop was New Street, and said, we've swept the train. I said, well, I've just been asleep. I was like, it's like, I've been on this train. I'm not coming from a spaceship or anything. Well, okay, it's not really your fault, but we'll get a taxi, pay you to get back to New Street. I said, okay, yeah, sound, whatever. But you got to pay to get on the train. Well, I've got a ticket, so I've got my train ticket. I'm all right. Yeah. I lived in Featherstone at the time in Wolves, so I thought, if I get to Wolves, I'm happy. I'm getting home, sound. Look at my clock, it was 12 o'clock. Thinking, last train, I'm sure it's 12:30, this last train, I'm sure it is. Got to New Street, saw the train, got to leg across, legged it, got to the platform, train pulled off. Oh no. I got a taxi for 60 quid, a black bloody cab. I remember you ringing me. You're right, Jed, you're right. Yeah, I'm on the M42 now in a taxi. Oh, I'm in bed, I've just put my electric blanket on, it's lovely. I was like, you twat. yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm tired, I'm pissed, I'll talk to you tomorrow. but things like that, like, funny things like that.
It's
memories.
The memories, and it's crap in one way, because I'm saying the memories as if this was a different world, but it does feel like that's so long ago, doesn't it? Because of what
it's like,
through, you know.
It's like if you said this time last year we'd be doing this, I was like, just starting with all this. I thought, nah, we'll be all right. It's just being ignorance, really. It's like, nah, it'll wash off. It'll be all right. Next thing you know, lockdown, pandemics, and all this sort of. Yeah, great memories of it.
Good memories, and we hope the memories are just on pause, and we hope, you know, we're going to have many more memories to come. So, you know, we mentioned lockdown. We're recording this in the pandemic. It's a tough time for everyone. So, I think both from myself and Jed, you know, stay safe to everyone, and
stay safe,
and keep supporting the club, keep supporting the Fancast and what we do, and we'll see you soon.
Well, stay safe. Love you all.